Oh, wonderful. Okay. I mean, it is all going out there in the States. My gosh. It's kind of nice to get it kind of firsthand in a way, to hear this from Reggie, because we're seeing the news reports and we're hearing things going on. The other thing I wanted to say, Anthony, how dare they arrest a reporter?
They did?
They arrested a CNN reporter.
Yes, no, you're right. I did hear that one. He was black.
Yeah.
Do you know, I saw the headline. I've got to be honest, I didn't dig deeper. So I've just been really horrified by everything that's going on, in a way that you just think, you know, you guys kind of mentioned it. It's the fact that we've had this whole pandemic going on. Yeah. You start to see light at the end of the tunnel, and then what you get? Negative news that proves that all the hope that we talked about, all the positivity we talked about while being in lockdown, was just nothing but talk. Let's talk more action. Let's see what's going to happen. But the first thing that's happened while you've got a lift is police getting, law enforcement, people. I'm going to say people because, as Reggie rightfully said, there are those that infiltrate law enforcement. I don't want to put a dark banner over all of police. It's that certain people who infiltrate and carry on with disgusting acts that just you can't defend it by any means. And one of the biggest things, and I don't want to harness on this too much, but people say, oh, it was a matter of self-defense. Where in self-defense do you have a man prone down as much as he was and your hands are in your pocket?
I must be watching something else because I couldn't see this at all.
No. It's a real tragic one, but there is a movement, and as Reggie said, the diaspora globally, there is something in that. And at the moment, guys, one of the key things he said to me off camera, and I believe he might have mentioned it on camera to yourself, was you've got this moment where we are uniting, but let's not unite just in the negativity. Let's use this as a joining force, but let's realize that the power that we have here can be used for good. There is a lot in this motion and this movement, and don't let it just stop at, yes, correct the law, but let it go further.
That's correct. I mean, this is now a turning point, which I hope out of bad comes good, so that something legislatively be placed that police officers have to stick to the rules about how they apprehend or how they take somebody in custody. He broke all the rules by kneeling on George Floyd's neck, and yet they claimed that because they tried to get him in a car, but they did have him in the car. So how did he get from the car to the ground? It doesn't make sense.
No, it's. Do you know? I don't know if you've seen it. There's a Netflix 4-part series called When They See Us, which hurt. That's the one about the kids in New York. I remember seeing it. I've actually watched it twice, and that breaks you to a degree. And you think back in the 80s, and Reggie mentioned the 70s. So decade after decade, this situation keeps going, and you keep hoping for change, and you get let down along the way. And that's the part that really hurts me. But we have to remain positive. We have to remain optimistic. We have to stay strong.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily by violence, but unite and show that you will not get away with this. And positive things will come. And, all of that talk of the Tamaro soiree, Spirit of the Pharaoh. You see the end of my name, Entertainment Corner. We have power. We are talented. Let's use this and evolve. Let's go way beyond. There is so much productivity that's out there. And I think that's why the ignorant fear what we can deliver. Because, there are times where people talk about the Black Lives Matter, it should be all lives matter. Yeah, I agree, all lives matter. However, there isn't a problem where you are hearing policemen are randomly killing this race, that race, or the other. And that's why there is a Black Lives Matter movement. And it's ignorance and fear. I don't want to say that we are superior. I believe everybody's equal. But those who fear and are intimidated by create the issues that we're dealing with and have been discussing right now. That's the way I see it. And I just believe that, I'm very optimistic in life, and sometimes maybe too optimistic, but I through this sadness, I hope and pray that we have a positive outcome.
Yeah, so do I, because it's got to come, something good got to come out of this. Someone's lost their life, and it's such a horrible way. So something good has got to come out of this. I was just mentioning the fact that, before We had Rachel. Remember, I said to you about the St. Paul's Cathedral and Remember Me, the online book of condolences. It's a really good one. It's powerful because it goes, I mean, obviously around the world. So, you know, images of your loved ones, short little messages underneath, and it's there, you know. I just think it's a great initiative.
Do you know what? I'm grateful for this stuff. And this is the sort of thing that you want. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say great, obviously we would all prefer those that we lost to still be here. But it's that unity that we were all able to pay our tributes to somebody or many people that we lost on such a nice platform. Yeah. I think it's a really nice touch. And this is the positivity that I would have liked to have opened this week on, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That through all the bad that's happened, we have light at the end of that tunnel.
Exactly.
And thank you for.
And this is it. This is what we need. The uplifting bit about it all. Just you need to. I kind of also say every day, Anthony, I want to laugh. I want a joke. I want somebody to tell me a joke. I want to be able to every day. I want to laugh. I need to laugh.
You need to. You need to. You know, if we go back to our first episode where we had today, Edwards talking about mental health checks. You just need those certain bits that, in such a tough time, you just need that laughter. You need that from people. You need that interaction to be like, this is life. I'll be honest. As the lockdown was slightly eased and we was told you could go to the park, I went out with some friends and just threw a ball. And you're like, you know what? This is life. And you had a smile on some of the most basic stuff, but that's what you're looking for. And then, you know, what else did I need for a smile and a laugh? My throne. You just do what you do.
Your throne.
That's what's going on, you know?
All you need now is a crown. So, no, don't go there.
No, I have to, because those who know me will say he does have one. In my other form of employment, where I won't mention, there is a staff vote that goes on, and I was voted king of that place. So I do have a crown in my office. So I left it there in quarantine. I can't bring it to match my throne. But thank you for noticing, Pam, that I do have a crown, and I've acknowledged it. At the moment, the afro's working for the crown due to quarantine reasons. That's the one. That is the one. So that's the one. Right. Just congratulations to Lusters on making stuff happen while you can't make stuff happen, if you would. You know, the international division shut down, but
making stuff happen when you can't make stuff happen. Anthony, here's what I want to talk to you about. All right, the track and trace. Okay, the track and trace. Just you've been with someone that possibly, contracted the disease, and if you may have it, track and trace. But Anthony, if you don't have a smartphone, Anthony, if you don't have an iPhone, Anthony, you can't be tracked and traced. So what's the whole?
So if you're watching this now, you might be able to see it somewhere else. I was logged on to Facebook just before the show, and I saw this COVID-19 symptoms. Just let us know how you're feeling or something. I didn't read the whole thing exactly, but I'm trying to figure out exactly what are you asking me. And it's like, even if you don't feel well, it helps us understand what a hotspot area is. And I was like, okay. Now, I know they're doing that. I know, and I'm not promoting any company over another because it's not even my network, so I'm not bashing them when I say this either. Vodafone are doing a Dream Big campaign or something where you can download an app and buy. And I was trying to understand, what are you telling me? I thought it was to track your sleeping, like if you snore or something. I didn't know what it was. You're telling me it's to help with the COVID. And I'm quite ignorant to this stuff, and I have to admit, maybe sometimes I keep it too entertainment and not enough of the real world, because I see it and I question it, and I hands up, apologies, I haven't looked deeper, because I do say to myself, well, how? I'm hearing of heat treatments. I've seen videos where I've seen like stuff going up people's noses, scratching the back of your tonsils and all that, and then you're telling me just tap the app and we'll be able to tell you what's going on. You know what? We can elaborate a bit further. I will, hopefully by next week. I will do some more research. I'll put my hands up, and we can discuss further. But I'm just there.
I mean, just the basics of it, Anthony. The basics is this: you can't be tracked and traced unless you've got an iPhone. So, are you going to try and tell me everyone in the land possesses an iPhone because they don't.
I'm Android, so that that tells you something. I'm Android. I will put it out there. My other half has a normal, like, old school Nokia. It doesn't even do internet. So where does that go? Like, there are stages to this. But you know, sometimes I believe, and I don't want to bash any government, any world leader or organization when I say this. They say stuff to you to make you feel comfortable, but when you stop and think about it, you realize it doesn't work. Now, I don't want to go all the way back, but I remember being in school and they were talking about terrorism, and they were like, we will have ID cards. And I said, and it was a question, and everyone's like, well, what do you think? And we had a debate in class. Well, how does an ID card tell you what I'm planning to do? Right? Because my name could be John Smith, and I'm not attacking any John Smith out there, and I have an evil plan. My name could be Muhammad Ali, and all I'm going to do is box. If you get what I'm saying, I'm just using like most generic. Take Anthony Jordan, if you would. What does Anthony Jordan say to you on a card? What does my phone, which I'm not going to label, but just show you like that, what does that tell you about my health at the moment? Let's work with it. I get it, guys. You're trying to encourage us that there's positivity, but give me more reassurance than something that's just like, oh, well, they said it will work, so it will.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really rather coming a bit too late. They started this at the beginning in March, and then they stopped it. Why did they stop it then? I don't know. Then now they've realised, oh gosh, no, we shouldn't have stopped it. Oh, let's put it back in there. But you know, it's not going to be for everyone. But can I also say there's some sort of dark area when it comes to your privacy. Now, I don't want to be tracked and traced, mate. When I want to test myself, I'm going to get tested. Yeah, but I don't want to be tracked and traced because we don't know enough about it. About your privacy.
So I'm going to scare a lot of people out there. A lot of people will. I say this because it's just the way I feel sometimes.
Because you're the dark persuader, but
exactly, for the dark, I have to defend the dark. No, it's not even that. But we talk about Facebook. We talk about your social medias and all these smartphones. Do you remember a film in 97, 98, 99 maybe? Like pre-social media with Will Smith talking about enemy of the state, and it was being tracked left, right, and center in a way that you were like, if the FBI want to track and trace you, and I hate to say this, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, they want to, they will. That's the part that scares me. Like, it's a true fact, because if that was the film pre-social media, what happens post social media? You know,
I know. Is that Hazel?
It is Hazel, who is, I believe she wants to be a guest on the show.
Okay.
I say that sarcastically. That's me. That's when you talk as a very polite colleague and son, and just say, oh no. Obviously, Mom's talking because she wants to be part of the show. Yes, keep it down. She's looking at me like, oh, well, I heard. Yes. People
tell her we can hear her. All the viewers can hear her.
Yeah, the lifestyle viewers say hello. Sponsored by Tamara Design. Anyway, no, joking aside, yes, you recognise the voice rightly. Yes, she was the one who brought us all back together for the Tamara soiree. Again, just mentioning the last when everyone was allowed to touch and hug and have a good smile.
Back in the old days, right? Back in the old days.
You know, it's really funny because people are talking and they're like, oh, we're going to be going back to work, X, Y, and I'm like, yeah, this now is the new normal. You know, queuing to go into your local supermarket is a way. Getting onto a tube, I heard that with the lifting of a lockdown might be 10 people per carriage, which I'm still not sure how that's going to work. But this is the new normal. So, would you say the old days?
It's the same with the buses, though, Anthony. Apparently, I think is maximum going to be possibly 20, I think 10 on top, 10 down the bottom.
Really?
That's on the double-decker. Then on your single, it's 10. Wow. On your single bus is 10. Listen to me. This is the new normal. We all got to get used to this.
New normal. It's the new normal. You know, sometimes I praise being that 80s kid because, we saw technology, we saw it all. And then we're at a point now where it's like, I've also witnessed the change of it all.
So the change of it. I mean, you know, the only thing I didn't like about this, I love the fact that TfL, Transport for London, and the London Mayor wanted to protect these workers, particularly the drivers of the buses, because we've had, I mean, up to date, I think 29 deaths of bus drivers alone. Now, I understand that. He then opened the buses to a degree where you didn't have to pay, because leave that side of the bus driver, that section alone, come into the middle of the bus, you don't have to pay. He's protecting these drivers. Okay, run out of money. Ask the government, please, sir, can I have more? They need money. TfL have made a deal with the government because the government has made this proviso. We'll give you what you need, but I tell you what, you start getting the fares gone on. You start making people carry on paying, and we need this money back. So what they've done is they've penalised the under 18s.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, and I also found out that I'm going to touch on it very quickly because I know our guest is waiting. But there's two things. One, I know congestion charge is going up. It's now going up to £15. So when that's back in force, that's going to happen.
7 days a week.
About the kids. Is it 7?
7 days a week.
Ooh, that's a stinger. Plus the ULEZ, that's going to be interesting. And the other part where, as much as I defend what Khan was doing, your bus driver is behind a protective screen. Now, if he was able to contract it, what are we doing when we were just all walking in through the back? That was the one part that scared me about getting on the buses. It was like, and I get it, you do what you can to protect, but it was also very scary on the other side for any commuter. That's the part I was scared of.
Yeah. Also, though, you should be wearing a face mask. You're not supposed to go on the bus.
I've heard this now, yeah.
And also, because of the bars touching of the chairs or whatever, gloves.
Yes.
Wear gloves and have your hand sanitizers as well. So these are aspects just to keep trying to help out with the bus drivers, the workers, as well as everyone else that goes on the buses. Now, we are not supposed to see crowded buses. You're not supposed to see crowded tubes in the carriages either. So it's all going to be a mass of, this is what's going to happen, Anthony. How do you regulate the buses now? So it's going to be like, whereas you get one every 15 minutes, it can't be one every 15 minutes because only X amount of people can go on the bus. So you've got to have about 3 in 15 minutes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I agree. Because a bus stop is packed normally. When you've reduced the numbers, you're going to have to double the amount of buses. Even triple, double to triple.
Crazy. Anyway, that's enough of us ranting.
Indeed.